thing that we sometimes we forget about is W.E.B. Du Bois in 1898 put out the call, and he talked about us all strategically coming together to be philanthropists. And when he was talking about the coming together, he was talking about African American people. And I really believe that even in today, that's really an important call that we need to follow through with, even more so today. One of the things that I want to do with this call is to be able to hear about some of the philanthropy that you all are doing so that we can share those ideas with others and have others partner with you in the work that you're doing, as well as let you know about some of the work that we have planned to do and that we're currently doing. Our mission is basically to invest in youth and young adult talents, near and abroad. And our vision is really about the future, our hope and our future. That's what we say when we talk about our children. African Talent Investment Project, our hope and our future. Those are the children. So one of the things I wanted to also talk about is where are you? Where are you in your philanthropic journey? Sometimes we think that it takes a lot of money to be a philanthropist, but it does not. It's really about time. It's really about your energy. It's really about your love and your passion for working for whatever segment that you're interested in, right? So that's where I would say is a good starting point for everyone. A good starting point is to think about and list. Just take out a piece of paper, and if you don't have one right now, think in your mind, what are 3 areas that I'm seriously passionate about, that I am seriously passionate about? So think about that for a minute. You can come up with so many, it could be children, it could be obesity, right? When we think about Michelle Obama, she had a whole platform around feeding our children, right? Which was awesome. And it made a big difference on children getting active, right? So you have to think about what are your passions, because if it's your true passion, then that's going to lead you and it's going to drive you, and you won't just do the work today, you'll be doing the work in the future as well. 5 years from now, that work will still be relevant. 10 years, a decade and more, it will still be relevant work. So I would say that that's definitely a place to start, by listing the things that you are truly passionate about, because those things will get you excited. It will tap into that inner spirit within you, and then that will motivate you and propel you forward. After thinking about some of those areas that you're passionate in, definitely listing, jotting down some of those things, understanding why those things move you, helps you to understand how can you make a difference. One of the things that people don't understand about philanthropy, especially our people, a lot of times we think that, we'll just get a grant. But I want to share some numbers with you that are pretty amazing. At the end of the third quarter of 2019, right? So we're not talking about 2020, because as we know, 2020 was an interesting year with the pandemic, and we're still just coming out of that now. But these numbers are at the end of 2019. At the end of 2019, believe it or not, $427 billion was poured into philanthropy or giving, charitable giving. So that's a lot of money, $427 billion. And the thing that's really interesting about that, 427 billion, 68% of that came from individuals like you and I. So when I talk about why does philanthropy matter, it matters because when you talk about a number like 427 billion, 68% of that is from people like you and I. So that's more than half of all those philanthropic dollars came from us, right? So that's really important to understand. The next number after that, 68%, 18%. 18% of that 427 billion came from community and foundations. So meaning like things like churches or other foundations that have already been, hold on, I'm letting in Apollo. Hello, brother. He's connecting to his audio. Hold on one second. Awesome. Multitasking here. All right. Hello, brother. So good to have you on the call. So good to have you. We're talking about why philanthropy matters. And so what we just reviewed is basically in the end of 2019, $427 billion was put into philanthropy, charitable giving. And 68% of that came from people like you and me. And one of the reasons that's truly important is because sometimes we think that we have to go to a big corporation to get the grants or to get the money that we need to fund our projects. But the numbers tell us that that's coming from individual donors. So it's very important for us to have calls like this and to be able to share and hear about some of the projects that one another have going on so that we as individuals can partner and come alongside and help to make sure that those things happen in our communities. So 68% came from individuals. Only 18% came from foundations of that funding, of those philanthropic dollars. 9% came from bequests. Now, bequests are when people pass away. When people pass away and they leave a will and they say, we'd like this money to go towards whatever situation, foundation, work that's going on in the community. So that's a very small number. And you know, many times we think that grants are the way. Oh, we'll just get a grant. Well, guess what? Of that 427 billion that was given towards philanthropic projects, only 5% came from corporate grants. 5%. That's a very small percentage. So why does philanthropy matter now? It matters because we're the ones who are making it happen. We're the 68%. So we have to continue that work. Brother Apollo, are you able to speak for about a minute about the project you have going on in Rwanda? Let's see, I'm not sure if he's able to or not. Hold on. Thank you for your patience. Brother Apollo, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. So I'm so glad that you were able to get on the call. This is our first call talking about why philanthropy matters now. And our goal is to talk about philanthropy, get more people on board, and also to give people such as myself or yourself who have great things going on an opportunity to share. So can you take a minute or so and tell us about your project that you have going on and how we possibly could help?
Thank you very much, sister. Yeah, my name is Poro from Rwanda. You may know that Rwanda is a smallest country in East Africa, the country that experienced genocide in 1994, the genocide against Tutsi. So what I want to, about my project, what I want to share is about East Africa Community Healing Center. We've been trained here in the Western countries where there are very excellent professors and the people who have a more skilled to train or to help people who are traumatized. But back home, we don't have that chance. So because I was trained a little bit in a hospital, which is located here in San Francisco, UCSF.
Yeah.
As a chaplain, I was really trying to see how can I use American resources, especially professors, chaplain, those who are really ready to help. So we want to establish that community healing center in Rwanda. Is a building which we want to build, and we are encouraging people in this area, in the US, especially in the US, to be a part of that project.
Yeah.
Not just for fund, but also they want them even to be there for training pastors and the individual people to be able to be much more useful in their communities. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. We're so grateful for Brother Apollo and for the work that he is doing in Rwanda, and that he has come here to America. And what he's able to do is partner with so many, partner with Berkeley Theological Seminary, partner with other like-minded people. As we go forward, we'll be continuing to talk about Brother Apollo's project, and I'll be bringing you more information about what he's doing in Rwanda and how we can be of benefit. As many of you know, we're going to Rwanda, and we'll be there, David and I, from June until July, so about a month, a little less than a month, and we'll be making, building more partnerships in Rwanda, not just with Brother Apollo, but also with a boarding school that's there on the ground, as well as other resources. And we want to be able to be a blessing. We have some special projects. Our daughter is leading a project where she's right now researching the best way to provide feminine products to some of the young girls in Rwanda. And so we'll be coming to you more about that as well. He doesn't have, I was going to ask Brother David to share a little bit about his vision and mission, but I think he is not able to at the moment. Definitely, if you have any questions, also go ahead and you can type them in the chat, and I'll be able to pick up those questions. This call is not a long call, but we will talk probably once a week just about what's going on, how we could be a benefit. I just talked a minute ago about philanthropy and talked about 68% comes from individuals. So that lets us know that we have a true responsibility to make the changes. I had spoke briefly about W.E.B. Du Bois. Du Bois had a vision and mission in the early, or actually late 1800s. And one of the things that he saw is that there needed to be a call to action for strategic, that's the word, strategic philanthropy amongst African Americans or amongst people of color. And as we know, we've always been a giving people. There's been studies done that have said that African Americans here on the continent in America are more giving than any other ethnicity, which is really, that's really interesting. And that comes from the things that have happened. If you think of Tuskegee University, that was founded and that was brought together by slaves who started a school in a church, you know. So we have this long history of being very philanthropic. In the Bible, Matthew 25:35 says, I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger and you took me into your home. I believe that that call is still really relevant and real in this time that we are living in now. And so we have to remember and heed those words. And we have to understand that we have a call. We have a call to go out and to be of service. And so I really want you to just take a moment and think about, what are you doing now to be of service? It's not always about your dollars. We spoke about dollars earlier. Many times it's about your time, your energy, your investment. So what are some things we've heard from Brother Apollo? We know what he can do. Sister Charm is on the phone, and I know that she's muted right now. If you're able to, Sister Charm, if you could share kind of what you do. She's a colleague of mine. We taught for many years together, and she was always a huge role model of service to children. And so really, really respect her and the work that she's done over the years with serving children. And now she gets to be retired, but she's still working. And I think that's what it is. We find that passion, as I spoke of earlier, the passion that we have. Brother Apollo spoke of the passion for trauma-informed care for those who are survivors of Rwandan genocide. That's a huge passion, and we can come alongside and help in many ways. Our passion, David and I, are children. You know, we've been blessed to adopt children, blessed to have biological children, blessed to have foster children, blessed to mentor children, blessed to do college tours with children, blessed to support children's talents in so many ways. And so we just want to keep growing and keep serving. As we come together, if you have any questions, please feel free. I don't want to talk the whole time, but I do want us to think about how we can improve and increase our service. One thing that's really important is when you have strategic giving or strategic service to communities, you're able to get so much more done. So individuals that come together, we can do so much more if we have a like-minded cause. If we all rallied together and made a difference, even if we only gave a little time or a little money, when you get the momentum of so many people on one accord of that thing, then it happens, right? I think about when they were in the Bible and they wanted to build the tower and they built that Tower of Babel. Well, one thing about it, they were all on one accord. And when you are on one accord, great things can happen. And so the idea is to get on one accord about philanthropy, serving our communities and being there for our communities. Let's see here. Charm, are you able to? One second. I'm gonna grab some water. I'm talking.
Hi.
Yes.
Right now, because of I'm working with teachers right now.
Yes.
It's been a very interesting journey because I'm doing it online. I usually would go into the classroom and work with teachers, helping them to clear their credential. But now, you know, we're doing it online, and it's difficult, and the kids they're getting things, but there's nothing like face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
In a classroom. And the teachers that I'm working with, they're working with 7-year-olds. So it's been a very trying experience, but that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And just one question for you, if we were to support you as a community, what would that look like? How could we actually come alongside and support that effort? What do you think is needed?
I think I need more time because I need to think about what would be needed. One of the things that I realize is that teachers need support. They're always under a tremendous pressure.
Yes.
They usually have their own family, their own issues that's going on while they're actually working with other kids. And I find myself most weeks trying to help them mentally. Because they're so stressed out.
Yeah.
And I can remember being stressed out working, but
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what that would look like, how we would really help them mentally. I'm not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
I only have 2 teachers, and that's all I could handle because they have so many things going on, and I just do what I can.
Yes.
But let me think about it.
Yeah.
I don't have to have the answer right now, right?
No.
Okay.
You do not have to have an answer now, but definitely think about it, because those are ideas that we can also share with other people in the community. I mean, it might be something as simple as sharing like a gift bag with a teacher with some different ways or tips to relax, or a really good book, right? Because teachers sometimes don't know how to de-stress, right? When we come
Absolutely.
home, we're still thinking about what
that. Yes.
that the classroom,
Yes.
what needs to go on, how to get Johnny from A to Z, right?
Yes.
It never cuts off. So
It
just
doesn't.
right. So we appreciate the work that you're doing, the work that Apollo's doing, and we want to be able to really, like I said, encourage. We don't want you guys to stop, and we want you to keep going. And the thing about philanthropy or giving or serving is that it's a job that continues on and on. It's not just we do a little bit now and we stop. It goes on for generations, because the work that we do now will be able to set up future generations. I want to talk a little bit to Apollo again, Brother Apollo, if you're able to unmute, about the work that he's doing. Because one of the things I foresee, Sister Charm and Brother Apollo and Brother David, with the work that we do today, that's going to impact tomorrow. And that's going to create a better tomorrow for our kids, for those generations to come. And so we have to be committed, right? We have to be committed and encouraged, and we have to have these dialogues to keep us encouraged, to keep us doing the work, because it really makes a difference, right? Brother Apollo, are you able to tell us what are some things that you think we might be able to help you with?
Thank you very much, Sister.
You're
I
welcome.
think you have been doing a lot, especially to encourage each other, because serving the people,
Yes.
according to my experience, is not something easy,
Yeah.
but we are called to serve.
Serve.
So just need encouragement, people who understand what I'm doing, and you call me like this, you text a message, but also I need your hands.
Yes.
As back home, we don't have a infrastructure. Even if you want to bring people together, we don't have a special place where they can meet. We have to rent, we have to pay for the room. Those kind of things still have very hard for our ministry. So I need your hands. Also, I need your time and skill. Back here, people are really skilled. So if you come there, I can bring pastors, you can bring women to talk to them, encourage them, talk to children. Those kind of experience and the skill that you have here, I would really to see how can they be useful for Rwanda community transformation. Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So we are the hands. When I was in seminary, there was always a question: how can we represent Jesus? And many times you would hear the answers, and many times the answers were, we were the hands of Jesus and we are the feet of Jesus. And so that says to me that we serve. That's what we do. And as philanthropists, that's a fancy name, but really it's someone who loves their neighbor. It's someone who cares about their neighbor and cares about the welfare of their neighbor, and continues to pour in to their neighbor, making their neighbor's life better. And so we have a big job, but it's a beautiful job, because God equips us with what we need. And when we don't have what we need, we can ask, because the word tells us, right? We have not because we ask not. So if we ask, I believe that God grants that to us. And so my goal for philanthropy, and why philanthropy now, because we can look around. We can look at the state of affairs. We can look at the state of affairs here in the US. We can look at the state of affairs abroad. And we see a lot of civil unrest. And we see racism. And we see unfair treatment. And we see injustice. And we see these things happening over and over and over again. And then if I go back to those numbers, of that $427 billion that was given to help people, especially people of color, it came from us. But somewhere along the way, we got the message that the government will help us. But now we're starting to learn what our ancestors knew, and what somehow we've forgotten over the years is that we're not waiting for the government. It would be nice if they would do some things, but really the work lies with what we do, with our practices, with our daily giving, with our daily service. And so as we continue on this journey, again, we'll be highlighting the work that Charm is doing. We'll be highlighting the work that Brother Apollo is doing. We'll be highlighting the work that some others are doing. And we'll continue to encourage one another.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Okay, so Brother David doesn't have the mic, but he's now in a space right here near me. So I think you guys could go ahead.
Apollo and Charm, what in the past have they done where it fallen under the umbrella of philanthropy, which is giving something that has had an impact on them personally?
Okay, were you able to hear Brother David's question?
Yes,
Okay.
I can answer that.
Okay.
In the past, I was part of this organization that gave scholarships to students in college. And we did that until the members pretty much they're like in their 80s or 90s, and then we were the younger group. Yes. And we were supposed to come in and try and keep it going. We did for a little bit, but it just didn't happen the way we wanted it to. So I did that for a while. Actually, the name of the group was called 13 Taurus, but it has nothing to do with my name. It was a group that was started like in the 60s, if I'm no, maybe the 50s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We just they would have at that time, they would have functions, raise money, and then help students through college.
That's the second part of the question was, how did that make you feel?
Oh, and so Brother David says, how did that make you feel in your heart?
Oh, well, you know, every time that we could help someone,
yes,
it felt good. I mean, because I just remember speaking with a mom who was like, you know, I need to, she was getting ready to try to sell stuff, you know, that she had because she needed to pay the tuition for her son. Okay. And so we were able to step in and help her, and it relieved her. Yeah. And that person, he graduated from Morehouse. Yeah. And he's doing well. And so, you know, it was definitely a group or village effort to help push him through. Yeah. And so, yeah, that was, you know, you could see it and it felt excellent. You know, when you can see that your time or your money or whatever is actually helping someone, yeah, it's a good feeling. Yeah. Yeah. I can't even, you know, I want more words than just good, but that's what I have now. A sense of accomplishment.
Yes, yes. Oh, that warms my heart. You just telling about it, because and thank you, Sister Charm, for sharing it, because that's what it's about. So when W.E.B. Du Bois was saying that we have to come together strategically and work together to help one another, that's the part that sometimes is missing, right? We keep forgetting that we have the power. We have more power than we know, right? And when we're able to come together collectively, it makes an even greater impact. It makes an impact when one person does it, but it makes an even greater impact when several people come together on one accord to do it. And so my challenge is for us to really start going back to our communities and really start talking about philanthropy in a way of collectively strategizing, so that we can continue to put people through college and support them. That we can, many times we say, oh, well, just start filling out for scholarships, right? Well, maybe we're the person who's supposed to provide the scholarship, right? Or sometimes we say, well, go see if you can get that government aid or that grant. But as the numbers just said, 5% of 427 billion came from corporate sponsorship. That's a very, very small number, right? So it tells us there's so much more in us. So Apollo, the same question. What has he done? Okay, Apollo, if you're able to unmute, David is asking the same question. What have you personally been able to do that made an impact, and how did it make you feel?
Yeah, maybe I can share just the small project which we call one cow per family, where the government selected poor people and encourage those who are able to support those families to get a cow. A cow in my culture is very, 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 very important, because the children get milk, and also they can sell some milk and they get some money, and also we get some fertilizer for their land, so they can get more harvest. So with my family, with my friends, we already supported 50 poor families to get a cows.
Wow. Wow.
So when I go in the village, I enjoy to see children drinking milk from maybe sweater, my prayer is my friend, talking is my friend. When you see children drinking milk, I will show you when you be in Rwanda, I can give you some, you will be how you will feel. Okay. You see, there are some kids who never drink milk in their life, but now they have the milk. They go to school because their parents sell milk and they raise some money and they go to school. So maybe in short, I feel very, very useful, very happy. Yeah, I feel like that's how I feel.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yes.
Yeah, so in my
heart, you have to speak loud.
Oh, in my heart, the best thing that I've ever done, doesn't matter if I bought a house, bought a car, none of that has ever made me feel as good as giving. Giving to me, it does more for me than it does receiving completely. Just like you helping give the scholarship term, and Apollo, that the cows, knowing that it's going to continue to help. That's forever. That's forever. The generations with the scholarships, with the guy from Morehouse, that's going to reverberate, the ripple effect from that. The same thing with Apollo, with the cow, the harvesting with the fertilizer. When somebody's healthy, they can move further on with their life. It's life changing. If somebody's healthy because they're receiving milk, they can learn more because of their nutrition. So all of it, and what I think Stephanie is doing here is just absolutely incredible, because just little things You know, those are big things, but even just little things can change somebody's life. And we don't know completely until we get to heaven what the impact of things are.
Yeah.
You know, of what the ripple effect of affecting one person's life, and especially women, because they're in charge of the kids and the community most times. So I'm looking forward to finding out what kind of impact Charm and Apollo and Stephanie, when we get to heaven, boy, we're gonna be like, woo, we did our best. We were kind when we were supposed to be. We gave when we could.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting, but it does feel good. That's why I asked, how did it feel when you guys did what you did? You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, but definitely we're going to stay in touch with Brother Apollo, Sister Charm, and we want to be able to definitely be a blessing as well to the work that you all are doing. There's a quote that says, "Love is the doorway through which the human soul passes from selfishness to service." So we want to definitely love on you, and we want to encourage you. We want to thank you for the work that you are doing. It is truly, truly a blessing, and we want you to keep going. And we want to be able to come alongside you and keep going with you, because together we are so powerful.
Unstoppable.
And together we will make a difference in our communities. God bless you. God bless you.
Guys. I love you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. We love you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.